Yo, it's your boy Hendje,
What's good? It's Tweeze.
and we back, my man, with Check Up 1-on-1. Hey, we getting our groove back. We doing our thing. Tweeze, talk to him. What's happening?
Man, we're back. I'm ready to go, man. Check up, bro. Check ball.
Hey, let's get right into it. You already know it's a fresh week, so we into it. It's Contract Thieves. Bum 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 ba bum.
I swear I'm not gonna laugh every time you do this.
Bum bum ba bum bum. Bum bum ba bum. Hey, but before we get into the contract thieves, we'll get to some guys that bounce back. Tweeze, where you at?
Man, I'm thankful, and I know you are too. Josh, you almost had a double doozy. You almost bounced. You almost was on this contract thieves list twice back to back.
God, Josh.
That would have been a failure, but you bounced back. 31 for 37, 274 yards, 3 touchdowns, and get this, no passes to the other team. That's how you do it, Josh. That's how you do it.
Okay,
Only your team.
that's all right. That's all right. I got a guy.
Who bounced back for you?
Daniel Jones.
He almost doubled up too.
Ooh, he got his name back. Danny Dimes got his name back. But for 6 quarters, a game and a half, Daniel Jones had 0 touchdowns of any kind, rushing or passing.
Struggling.
So guess what? Daniel Jones went 26 of 37. 2 touchdowns. 2 passing touchdowns. 1 rushing touchdown, only 1 pick. He did all that, the touchdowns, in 1 half of work.
And down the stretch, the big half.
29 fantasy points.
Okay.
Way to bounce back. Danny Dimes, you got your nickname back. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into the Thieves. Tweeze, talk to me.
So,
Gosh.
I tried to avoid this.
Yeah,
I tried to avoid it last week.
yeah.
And the only reason you got away with this, Deshaun, is because you played against Joe Burrow, who stole the bag in a way we had never seen. All right. Last week, you were 154, 1 TD, 1 interception. I mean, this is for a guy who's getting $230 million for 5 years. Then, when we talk about what happened this week that just passed, you had 1 TD. Then you had a second TD. No. Oh, that was to the wrong team. An interception returned to the crib.
Oh, my gosh.
Then you had the nerve and audacity to fumble in such a way that you allowed a man to instant high step a fumble recovery, scoop and score
2 tuds.
to the house. So you gave up 2 tuds to the other team and allowed the Steelers to continue to do damage. But we'll talk about that at another moment. But Deshaun, you stole. You got to stop that. I need you to bounce back. You can't get a double doozy. Don't be the first one.
Deshaun, yeah. Deshaun, I'm going to tell you one thing, Deshaun. You messed up some stuff for me. Because my boy Chad Sanders, he has a hot podcast, by the way, on AMP. Check him out every Tuesday and Thursday. Nothing but anarchy. That thing fire. First of all, you locked in, ain't you?
Locked in.
First of all, Deshaun Watson. I had that was going to be my game to take it over the top for me. Give me 3 points. But Deshaun, as you guys are up a score, you gave it up. Thank you, Deshaun. Y'all tune in to Tower Anarchy. Tweeze, what you got for the tower?
Yes, thank you. Because I'm climbing the Tower of Anarchy. I'm actually right on the heels, top of the leaderboard, because I knew before that game started, it was a done deal. 20 straight wins the Steelers have at home. So I wasn't worried about, I'm talking about, this goes back to 1992. Now it's 21 straight wins, but this goes
21
back to
straight wins at home when?
Monday Night Football.
Oh,
So it doesn't matter who they're playing. I'm talking about, go back to when they had Jerome Bettis, the bus, all right, Hines Ward, all that.
Mhm.
Then after that, like the null period, like after Ben, right? Just average. Still, undefeated Monday Night Football at home. That's it.
I got you.
That's it.
But I'm going to go ahead and take us to some other guys here on these contract thieves. These guys ain't necessarily making the biggest bag, but this guy's supposed to be on his way to a bag. And this is Justin Fields.
Yeesh.
Justin Fields, what is going on? They gave you what? You got DJ Moore. You got this good defense. It's you. You got the legs. You're supposed to be this big time rusher. You only rushed 4 times last week. You're being someone that you're not. Let's get into it, Justin Fields. This past week, you had a 55% completion percentage. 1 touchdown passing. Yes, you did have a rushing touchdown. You know what I'm saying? A little short yardage. 2 picks. And a fumble. Justin Fields. I know you're only making 4 years, $18 million. You're on year 3. But this is the year you're supposed to propel yourself to let the people know you get a bag. But it ain't happening if you're going to continue to play like this.
So he's stealing from himself.
He's stealing from himself.
Oh, yikes.
His age. Won't even get there. Justin Fields, get it together. Get it together.
We're rooting for you.
But as of now, you, sir, are a contract thief. Moving on. Oh my God. You talked about his homeboy last week, Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow could be a part of the problem. But Jamar Chase, the next contract thief is you. 4 years, $30 million. $30 million all guaranteed. Jamar Chase, this week, 5 catches, 31 yards. 8 fantasy points. For the season, 10 catches, 70 yards. That sounds like a game for Jamar Chase. And the thing is, Jamar Chase, his targets, he had 5 targets this past week. He caught all 5.
So do you think it's his fault?
Get open. Get more. And I get it, Joe Burrow. I mean, he's got under pressure. But if you're the special guy, please, my boy. And right now, sir, you are a contract thief.
That's tough right there. That's tough right there.
But we're going to move on. All right. So, Giannis Tweeze, he's on the Zach Lowe podcast. He had a couple words here. We're going to let the Giannis words play real quick. Let's let it go.
So, I'm a Milwaukee Buck, but most importantly, I'm a winner. I want to win. And I have to do whatever it takes for me to win. And if there's a better situation for me to win the Larry O'Brien, I have to take that better situation.
All right, so we just heard the Giannis clip. Tweeze, do you think Giannis's words have any merit at all?
It's hard to say that they don't have any merit at all, but I just think that it's not a big deal. I think that just taking out of context, I think that he also spoke on, being an African man too, right?
Okay.
So there's a bunch of things that were spoken and discussed there, but in that brief clip, it starts out with "as long as," which is to me it sounds like a condition. So he's not necessarily talking about the team as it is constructed now. He's saying in the event that I feel that this team is not competing or making the right moves or to position itself to win, I'm out. And I don't think that's a surprise to me. That's not a big deal to me. I think that that's a marquee player providing the proper pressure to his organization to keep a formidable team out there, and not just an average formidable team, but an exceptionally formidable team.
I hear you, but I'm be honest. I think there's a little something to that.
Tell me.
And why is something to that? Because Giannis this past year has felt a first round exit. The year prior was a second round exit. He sees and he feels decline. And you spoke of the condition. Oh, there's quite a few conditions. His teammates. Giannis, all-star level player. MVP level player for the past 4 seasons. Chris Middleton. You're the number 2. Yeah, you were injured last year. But that's a condition. We need you. If you don't step up, Giannis might walk on out the door. So understand a couple things here with Chris Middleton and the Bucks. Read between the lines. Giannis is making it very clear. Y'all better get right, or he finna get lost.
I don't think they're under that kind of fire, but I hear what you're saying. I think they got some time. I think, we talked about this off camera, but we talked about the idea of these football teams and the urgency, right, to win.
Yeah.
The same type of urgency is not displayed in basketball. I think generally it's the idea of these like little 3-year pockets of attempts to build and formulate a team. I think yes, you're right. I think we're coming to the end of the idea of this proper construction or certain construction of the Bucks being a formidable competing team for a championship. I think as long as you have Giannis, you're already there.
Yeah.
You're already at the threshold.
Yeah.
And then you're just trying to move those little pieces right there. I think he might be putting them on notice that something needs to be done between this year and next year. But he also wants to see what happens this year. And I don't see them having first and second round exits this year. I don't see that.
I'm not necessarily saying I do see the first and second round exits, but I do see a team that is aging. I do see Brook Lopez in his mid-30s. I do see Portis 30 and older. So this team ain't young.
No, they're not.
So that window is closing, and I do agree with the 3-year pocket, but that started 2 years ago when they won a championship. 3 at this point. So Bucks, be a little weary. Bucks, start thinking ahead. Just get a little plan here. That's it. Hey, man. Tweeze. So, we're moving on. We're about a month away from NBA tip-off.
Lakers basketball.
Oh, my goodness gracious. We're not getting there yet.
Sorry.
We're not getting there
Pardon
yet.
me.
But we are going to talk some hoops here. We're going to talk some NBA Eastern Conference Atlantic Division basketball.
Let's do it.
We do know there are 5 teams. We're going to talk about 4 today. So, my first team. I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics. Backcourt, B+. You got Jaylen Brown. You got Derek White. You got Malcolm Brogdon. I think these guys are going to take up the majority of the time in the backcourt. Pritchard might get a little bit of time here and there. But these guys are going to do it. And I'll tell you what all 3 of these guys are not just named. They can all defend. All defend. Derek White is pesky. He's going to guard your 1s and 2s. He's going to make it happen. He's going to hit the open 3. Shot 37% last year.
Okay.
Averaged 12 points. Then you got Malcolm Brogdon. He's a career starter in this league. He knows starting. Came off the bench last year. 6th man of the year. 6th man award guy. He's always up there, going to be up there for the runnings while he's in there with the Celtics. He shot 48% from the triple.
Cashed out.
51 from the field. 15 points a game. And another guy that can defend 1 through 3. If a 4 takes him out to the perimeter, he's going to be right there with him. I'll let you know that right now. There's Jaylen Brown. We all know about that. 27 points a game. He just got a big bag. Big bag.
Check.
Okay. He can do it. Right to left, you to death. Pull up on a dime. Bang, bang. He's going to make it work.
Better pull up, though.
Backcourt, B+. Stay out of this one. Celtics. Front court, A-. Thorough front court. Jason Tatum, 30 points a game. We all know what's up in him. He's a superstar in this league. He's arrived. He's here. I don't care what anyone has to say about it. He is that boy. He's the leader of the team offensively. Then he has stepped up and turned into a defensive player. Don't even sleep.
He has.
All right. I know he's not on no defensive teams of any kind, but when his number is called and he has to make it happen, he has. Ask KD in that first round.
Stepped up.
Y'all remember. He was the premier guy guarding him, and he made it happen. Let's go ahead and move on. New addition, Kristaps Porzingis. 23 points a game, 7'3", can step out, shoot the three, can work from 18 feet in. I mean, then he's a shot blocker at the rim. They already have that with that other guy I'm going to talk about, Robert Williams. Athletic, 6'11", can jump out the gym. A lob threat. Not really what they have over there in Boston, but he just changed that whole dynamic down there of bigs because they just have a variety of bigs, my boy.
He's a different.
They got different type of bigs. You got a finesse type of big in Porzingis, but he's out there blocking your shot. Then you have more physical type of big in Robert Williams, but he's out there blocking your shot.
Still rum protection. I see.
Then you have the OG, Al Horford. Let's do it all.
Solid.
Pretty defender, leader. Gonna give it all he got. I'm gonna put his knee in everyone's back and the rest let him get away with it. But that's Al Horford. Front court, A-. And I'm gonna let it be known, this team defends. Joe Mazzulla has kept it together that they will defend all the way around. So I give these guys an overall grade of an A-. Talk to me, brother.
All right. Let's go to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn in the house.
All right. So when we go to Brooklyn, all right, you think of a team that's been destroyed, left.
Yeah.
With renegade warriors.
Yeah.
All right. But in the backcourt, hoping some things go a certain way. They're actually pretty solid out there. You got Spencer, Dennis Smith Jr. You got, hopefully, Ben Simmons, who is competing for a point guard position.
Yeah, our starting job is ridiculous.
All right. I wish we had better sights for him, but I still have this like little bit of Ben stock.
Yeah.
Like upside, like just
I
if
feel
Ben
you.
can get it together.
Just cause like you know what he could be.
What he could be. Then you got Bridges. Then they got Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker and Cam Thomas somewhere with that.
Depth guys.
All right, so they got a lot of things going on in the backcourt right there. So I'm going to go with a B- for the backcourt. B- overall.
Okay.
All right. In the front court is where it gets weary. There we got Cam Johnson, got Royce O'Neal, Finney Smith, and then you got pretty much Claxton and Darius Baisley. It's a wee bit thin in the front court. You lack scoring punch. Not anyone that can really like create too much. I mean, of course, Cam's gonna score.
Mm-hmm.
Cam's gonna score.
What corner? Trey Rock.
Right.
Transition bucket, a little dunk on your head here and there.
But no real pressure in the front court. Because even Cam Johnson's pressure is more like a backcourt pressure. It's not a front court pressure. Because they're gonna be relying on Ben again to show up in the front court. But overall, I'm gonna go with a D+. D+. I think this team is gonna be solid, scrappy. They're gonna fight. They're gonna compete. But I think they're headed for a high draft pick. All right, I think that's where they're headed. Right.
I was literally just gonna ask. So, is this team a possible playing team with this grade that you're giving them? But I guess that question has been answered.
No, that front court is deplorable, and that won't work. That won't work. It won't happen. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if they competed for the play.
So what if Ben Simmons comes back to the guy we know him to be?
See, and that's the wild card, right? So this is my approach, just in realistic of what we've seen most recently, right? What we've seen over the past couple of years, because it's hard for me to just give up on a guy who was an all NBA performer.
Yeah.
Right? So if he can show that he can win that starting spot, then these grades change, right?
Yeah.
But if he's just floating around doing the Ben Simmons bench pickup thing, no, this team has no chance.
I hear you. So what's this guy's overall grade?
Their overall grade is a C-.
C-. Hey, Brooklyn, y'all need some work.
It's tight.
So we're about to stay in New York. We about to go to Stephen A's team. The guy you gave some, your boy, Stephen A.
It's sources. You talking about sources? Sources Smith. Got it.
Backcourt, B-. We got Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes,
I like Quentin.
Emmanuel Quigley. Jalen Brunson, 24 points per game, 49% from the field, 42% from Trey Rock. Quentin Grimes. Actually, let me go back to Brunson. Let me not even cut that short. Because that's actually crazy.
Put some respect on his name, bro.
That's an up-and-coming all-star.
Because you don't respect him.
There's a lot of point guards that I like. You know what I mean? Before him, like, I just like their game. But no, I got to respect this guy.
Thank you.
This is an up-and-coming player in this league. He's arrived. He's got playoff moments, young guy in his career. Just like a lot of these other guys. And again, he plays in New York, but I wouldn't even say the stage is that big because we don't see him that often, but we are seeing him now because New York is being actually a good team. And they're getting places. So let me tell you one thing. Brunson is really a lot of the grade for this team's backcourt. Quentin Grimes, 6'4", 11 points per game last year. Defender. Slasher player. But can do it all. Can shoot the tray a little bit. Shot about 36%. About a make or two last year per game. But again, he gets it done. He can guard your 1s, 2s, and 3s, even though he's just 6'4". And he's above the rim.
He can fly.
He can get there at the rim and he can fly. I'm not too mad at him. My next guy I like is Emmanuel Quigley. I think he's another growing, budding star in the league. 15 points per game last year. Shoots a 3 about 37% a game. Minutes, about 27, 28 minutes per game.
Maybe a 6-man candidate?
OD, definitely
Okay.
6-man candidate.
All right.
So I think that he just helps to bolster the backcourt. That is, again, the B- grade. Front court, good depth. Good depth. RJ Barrett, Julius Randle,
Okay.
Josh Hart,
I like Josh.
Mitchell Robinson. They all bring a different punch. RJ Barrett really has to grow up, though. And I get it, he averaged 20 points last year, 19.6. But streaky shooter, too damn streaky. 43% from the field, 31 from 3. And y'all saw the playoffs. He was like 1 for like 17.
They all rebound, though.
Before he hit his next 3. They do rebound. And they do defend very well. And that brings me to my next guy, Josh Hart. Mr. Do It All. 10 points per game. 8 rebounds, 7.8. 8 rebounds at 6'4". 4 assists. Let me tell you, Josh Hart, another guy that just shot well from the field. 52% for the season. 37% for the year from 3.
Corner, baby.
But I'll give you a little, funny tidbit. In New York in 25 games, he shot 52% from Trey.
Change the season.
No small, weird sample size, but
no, change the season.
You know what I mean?
Change the season a little bit over there.
That's huge. Mitchell Robinson, we know what he is. Tree, rim runner, 7.4 points a game, 9.4 rebounds. We know what he's going to do. He's going to just run the rim. He's going to change shots. He's going to rebound.
Yes.
Defends at a high level. Does what he can. A little frailer body, but again, he's out there giving it what he got. To the last guy to hold it down, Julius Randle. You're a B, Julius, because you just have all NBA. And it wasn't all NBA. This group would be a C-. Again, cause everyone works hard, so that's why they're like C guys. You know what I mean? But only because you're all NBA. You do average 25 of the year, 25 and 10. But when are you going to give us a playoff series?
I don't know.
When is this all NBA guy going to give us something?
I just don't know.
I don't think I've seen such a thing.
Oh, I've seen it. It happens. There are guys who just don't have it to turn it over in that playoff situation when it gets unchy, when teams know you.
You are the reason that seriously, you are the guy that's going to take this team to the next level. If you perform well, step your playoff performance up, because you guys are going to get there. You guys are going to be in the playoffs. You just got to take it over the top.
Do you think they can do it without Julius being the number 1 guy on the team? Or can it be Brunson's team and Julius perform at a level that will suffice?
I think that could definitely happen. all they need Ju to do is average 20 and just not be over aggressive.
So Julius can be the 2.
He can be the 2. He can be the 2.
All right, I hear you.
If Brunson's gonna be this 25 guy, Ju go ahead and be 20 guy. RJ go ahead and give the other 20 guy. Let Josh Hart go ahead and float on in. Let Quigley go ahead and just sprinkle in this 50. They can compete. And again, like I said, they defend.
They definitely do.
They defend
as a unit.
They're scrappy. They're Tom Thibodeau led. You know what I mean? It's. I feel it for them.
What do you weigh in on the idea of the Knicks not really having that home court advantage, or they haven't taken advantage of the home court in the way that they needed to in the past couple of years?
I just think that the culture of the Knicks just hasn't been there. So the real Knicks fans ain't been out.
Gotcha.
But I feel like now the Knicks fans see what's up.
Jalen done brought them out.
The Knicks fans is out.
Jalen brought them out. I can hear that.
And they got rivalries again building. You know what I mean? They got the whole thing with the Hawks.
Yes.
That's a thing. So people are coming out. And again, there might be even a thing with the Cavs because Donovan Mitchell's over there and he's supposed to sign with the Knicks. You know what I mean? It's just the Knicks fans are out and they're winning. I love it for the Knicks. But again, let's get back to it. The Knicks front court, I gave them a B. Like I said, they could have been a B-, could have been a C+. Like I said, Julius Randle, you hold them over. And I give this team overall a B-. I think this team, again, there's a lot of potential there. They got some holes to fill, but again, they just have guys just work hard. And they kind of just patch the holes up. They need to find some consistent range shooting. They get one more of those guys, or if RJ just can be the other one of those guys, I think it helps the team a whole lot.
Okay. All right, so I will jump right into Philly. All right.
Oh my goodness, a lot going on over there.
That's a lot. It's a lot going on over there. All right, so the backcourt, I'll start with that. I'll say that is an A+. No, I'll take it down. A. Let's keep it solid. Let's keep it A+ out there. All right. I'll give it an A backcourt. I love James Harden out there with Tyrese Maxey.
Love that. And
then when you talk about what they got off the bench, when you got Beverly and Melton, even though Beverly always finds a way to start. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but he always finds a way to start. Respect to that. Mm-hmm. So he might figure out how to crack the start lineup somehow. And that might actually fix something I'm talking about later. But in the backcourt, you got defense, you got shooting. We're talking about 43% from Maxey, 39 from Melton, 39 from Harden. You got some shooters out there, right?
And Beverly's gonna hit the corner tray.
And Beverly's gonna hit that corner tray. He's not someone that you can just
he hovers around like 38 to 40.
Right. He's gonna hit. He's gonna hit. Right. Again, that's quick talk. A- in the backcourt. Front court. This is where I had a tough time actually grading the front court. You would think it's easy with the MVP down there, taking care of business. All right, but I have solid questions about Tobias Harris and what he plans to do when playoff time comes around.
$36 million contract.
That contract.
He gonna be one of them too.
You're gonna be one of them. I think you're gonna be one of them, Tobias. You're gonna be on that. Hey, we're gonna hear the theme song, and there we go. We're gonna be talking. I don't want to do it, but it sounds like that's coming. All right. Then off the bench, they got Daniel House and what's his name? Furkan. How do you say his name? Furkan Korkmaz?
Oh, Korkmaz.
Yeah. All right.
Korkmaz.
All right. Cool. And then when we go to the power forward position, is where it gets severely thin because, Tobias is this tweener guy, right? But in their best ideal look lineup, you got Tobias at the 3. All right. At the 4, they have PJ Tucker. My PJ Tucker stock is gone. It's through. It's over with. Everybody talks about how he shoots a kind of a decent percentage out there from 3. It's 0.7 threes a game. Like it's not. Yeah. It's not moving.
He might hit one.
Is basically what happens. Again, something else I know from those parlays. All right, PJ is gonna mess up your parlay.
Take the under.
Right? Take the under, please. All right. Then you're still shuffling guys like Daniel House. You're making these guys. You have too many tweeners. Mm-hmm. You got Daniel House. You got Tobias, and then you got Furkan is gonna be trying to play some power forward minutes. All right, then at the center, who's backing him beat up, right? We saw some highlights from Paul Reed, right? Yeah. We saw him show something, right? But then what happened to Harrell? You're forced to have Mo Bamba.
Oh, that's who they picked up?
Mo Bamba existing
Dang.
on your depth chart. I think that's a bad thing.
Mm.
All right, as a functional, as someone that you got that might have to actually play, it's not a good look.
This is Mo's last shot, by the way. This is Mo's last
It's
one.
the last chance. All
Yeah.
right, and then again, something you talked about for Julius. We don't want to talk about it, but it's important. When is Embiid going to give us a longevity?
Conference finals, just
I just want to see it, man. I need to see it. I know there's been injuries, right? But again, after all, in totality, we have to include that. That's just something that happens. It's a part of this game,
Yeah.
right? So durability is a thing. So now it's kind of getting close to when we're gonna be checking in on you. It's not Giannis' situation, right? Where he might be checking on his organization. Nah, the organization's gonna be checking on you. They're gonna be checking on you, and that's coming soon. So again, I say all that to say the front court. I think I can't give them. They gotta be a B. I gotta be in the front court because especially what they need to do, what they gotta do, what they gotta perform, to get to the place they need to be in the playoffs. I think they're gonna be really severely lacking in the playoffs when it comes down to putting so much on Embiid, who you don't want to be injured. You got he's gotta have
just the usual Philly stuff.
It's just too much.
He just runs out of gas.
And he should.
The second star just doesn't do what they gotta do.
And he should run out of gas if there's no front court second fiddle.
So you don't think Maxey can like grow into like this third guy with Harden, or like be like this other second guy that could potentially take the pressure off of Embiid a little bit more?
I do think that. But my thing here, especially with my grade for the Nets, right, is that the front court is what really powers your power and your chance as a contender in the NBA. I think the backcourts are just starting to be a thing that you can have a great backcourt, but the finish, the long run, the pull, the haul, it's in the front court. It's in the versatility. It's in the depth. All right, we saw that in the last couple runs, right? Even the Lakers in our past run, right, were able to dominate and take over playoff series because of the front court, right? Till we met that match, till we met Jokic and Gordon, and it was just too much. So I think that based on what Philly is expected to do and what they need to do, I can't give them a higher grade than a B, and that grade might even get lower if we get to by the time we get to the playoffs. Just the injury, just the nick, anything that happens, that grade gets lower, and that's it for Philly. Their overall, it's hard because they still have the MVP. They still have the MVP.
They got him.
They still have the MVP. So my overall grade for them is a B+. Right? That's with the MVP bonus. That's that.
That's the MVP bonus.
MVP bonus allows them to be B+. If we don't have the MVP over there, we're talking about a B team. Given the guidelines I just discussed, with front court and defense and rim protection, you have one guy to do that job, and it's tough.
So, but does B+ allow them to be one of the top teams in the East? They got Boston with A.
Yes, B+ still allows them to compete. Like I still think that a B+ team can still sneak and win the conference. Yes, so yes, they have a chance. Well, I shouldn't say they have a chance to compete for the conference.
All right. Well, I mean,
see how the injuries break down. See how it breaks down. But again, at the start of the season, I would say that they're a B+ to me until they fix something in that front court or add something to it.
So other teams we talked about real quick, like who's probably the worst team? Who's probably the worst off team? You would say
of all the teams we spoke on?
Yeah, the four teams.
I'd say Brooklyn's in the worst situation.
Brooklyn's worst situation.
Yeah, I think they're more dependent on hoping that someone breaks out and shows us something we haven't seen. I don't really believe the Bridges type. I think he's a great player, but I don't think he's supposed to be a functional one.
Are they gonna let Cam Thomas loose?
Yeah, I think that all depends again on what happens with Ben. I think if Ben is able to get a starting spot, I think that just tightens up like a lot of playing time in the backcourt. But at the same time, I think that if Ben is that point guard, then we get to see more lineups with Ben, Cam Thomas, and Ben and Lonnie Walker. That's Ben playing 30+ minutes a game.
Right. I just don't understand the Cam Thomas thing. We just seen him go off for so many buckets, and he's just not. it's got to be something that we just don't know. I don't know.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see him get a chance to get out there and boogie. But again, what is Ben gonna do? If Ben can functionally become something, then it just opens up so much time for these guys to get a chance to play offense and be that guy. Otherwise, we're gonna get a lot of heavy Bridges, weirdo ISOs.
Ben, you better be somebody. You better be somebody.
He should be at least first team all defense again. He should be able to get back to that, right? How
We
do you
hope.
lose defense? How do you just lose that?
We gonna see. We gonna see. Hey man, Tweeze, got anything else for me, my man?
No, I think we can wrap this up.
Say that, man. Well, just make sure y'all do one thing for us. Follow. Well, a couple things. Follow, subscribe, and share that. Please share that. Leave some messages in the comments. Agree or disagree. Tell Tweeze he's tripping, because that's what just normally happen. Hey, man. Well, that's it for us. Check out 1-on-1. We out.